Today's episode on the Here podcast is I love Chuck Palahniuk. I love Ween. I love Richard Linklater. We're going to talk about, I'm not going to go get my Ween CDs. I own them, but I'm not going to go get them because they're upstairs. I love I love Chuck Palahniuk. Probably could see some of his books up there. And I love Richard Linklater, and and that's the poster that's right by my computer. And I would like to get a Slacker poster because I love that movie. But I love his other movies more. But Slacker is just great too. I mean, it's just a reminder of fortitude, you know? Use your fortitude, use your will. So, wow. I mean, I just got a repost on Instagram, Tom Segura, and that's like, I'm like the biggest Tom Segura fan in the fucking world. It's like too insane. So I'm just kind of freaking out, but I've also been needing to record this episode, so I thought I'd just record it because I'm fucking freaking out. Tom Segura from Your Mom's House podcast. It's it's insane. It's so super cool. I mean, he's a really cool guy. He was just really cool both times I met him. I mean, I tried not to like overstay my welcome both times, but just been like, dude, I'm a huge fan. I love your stuff. You're one of the best ever. And I fucking love him so much. Like, he's so cool. I'll have a whole episode about the Your Mom's House podcast later on. But today, right now, I'm going to talk about Chuck Palahniuk. So let me go get some right now. Because when I was a child, wow, this was like 15 years ago. So like 15 years ago, I wrote a letter to Chuck Palahniuk because he used to write you back. And I think he might still, it's like certain times of years. I don't know, I haven't checked up on it in a while. When, you don't be greedy when you get cool stuff, cool experiences, it's cool. So I didn't keep writing him or anything. I just thought that was so cool. And, I lost a necklace. Where is that? Maybe I'll find that. Hopefully I'll find that. If not, it's cool. But I wrote Chuck Palahniuk a letter, and he sent me back this elephant. He sent me back like a box of chocolates, and like a whole box. He sent me like a package, and he was doing this to people, and he made me a necklace too, and it said like John White on it, and it's really cool. And hopefully I'll find the beads and fix that up. But it was awesome. Like as a kid, I don't know if I ever talked about this. Like whatever, we're 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, but like me and one of my friends gave each other hand jobs when we were like 10 or 11 or something like that. And growing up in Mormon culture was like this thing that I felt so ashamed about. Like I don't have like shame about it now, but like I felt so ashamed about it. Like, oh, you're not supposed to be gay and do gay stuff. And then like, we're just like, there's no girls around when you're that age, and like, thank God. And we only did it like one time, but it was still like this huge guilt that like played over in my head. And I think like that's like, I don't know, it's just a thing that made me feel really depressed and like feel guilty about, and like I didn't know what to do, and I felt ashamed because like you're not supposed to be gay, being gay is a sin, being gay is bad, and all this stuff. And like I didn't feel gay, but I just felt like we gave each other hand jobs, and like we were looking at Britney Spears posters. It was really funny, and it was just like two guys playing around, and like it made me feel really like depressed and stuff. So that was part of the letter that I sent him. because it turned out that he was gay, and I remember being like, that sounded really weird. Turned out that he was gay, but like some fucking lady that was ran a newspaper like outed him as being gay, and I was like, Chuck Palahniuk's cool and gay, and like, look, this is fucking the 90s, okay? No, this is the 2000s. This is like early 2000s, I guess. But like early 2000s. Like 2000. And like, I don't know, maybe 2001. But around then. And I lived in Utah. I didn't know any gay people. And like, there weren't that many gay people on TV. And I didn't think it was bad or anything like that. But it's sort of a thing where sometimes you have examples and they make you stop giving a fuck. And I remember thinking, like, if Chuck Palahniuk, because I love Chuck Palahniuk, and I remember thinking, if Chuck Palahniuk's gay, I don't give a fuck about some hand job I gave. Like, I don't want to feel guilty about it because he's fucking awesome. And so that was a cool thing. I don't even remember if I told him that or why I brought this up. But that was a part of the process of sort of getting this letter that he wrote. And it says, your power elephant is enclosed. And I guess this is kind of personal or whatever, but this podcast is personal. John, dear John, please tell that one girl at your school I do not practice necrophilia. Yucky. Have you ever seen a dead body? No way anyone could ever have sex with that. Actually, the most recent high-profile cases of necrophilia, or corpse abuse, as it's called in California, have all been women stealing the bodies of attracted dead young men. No shit, but it's sad because they tend to be women so sexually abused that they feel unsafe with any living male. Wow, this is getting heavy. So this is 2004. February 2004. Hand jobs. This had nothing to do with hand jobs. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's kind of funny. Okay, that's more than you wanted to know. I just get carried away with my research. There's just too much interesting stuff in the world. And I don't know how Paige escapes. Paige is this character in the book Choke, and I had a question, and he said, and also my friend was like, does he practice necrophilia? He rebuked that. Rebuked that. I'm gonna see, I'm not that smart, whatever. And I don't know how Paige escapes. In a way, I wanted it to be a little miracle, and a question that the movie might answer. Yes, cross your fingers. It's supposed to start filming this year. That's awesome, because Choke is like one of my fucking favorite books. At least it was in high school. Since I was so rushed on tour and I only got about 15 seconds to say hello, I made you a necklace. Yes, I made this. And I remember when I met him, I went to California with my dad. He took me, and he was a huge fan. And I met him at this reading. And I met him at a reading, and I said something really self-deprecating. And he's like, don't say that. And it was really sincere, and like, he said it cooler than I just said it. But like, it was this cool moment that I just remembered where he's like, don't talk about yourself that way. Yeah, you shouldn't have to like, I mean, you should just love yourself, right? I mean, figure it out. But it's all fucking, I talked about this on the episode with Sean Brown, like, so much of life can be like fucking the Red Queen, where it's just like the world's moving as fast as you go, and it just keeps catching up with you. So it's good to just sort of like, I don't know, I've talked about this a million times, just like, I'm still dealing with and reeling with, like, thinking like I was gonna love myself more after like doing all this music, but also it's you know, I don't have any, now I'm not under any delusions about like, oh, I'm gonna get good reviews and then I'll feel good, or if people know my stuff then I'll feel good. Like, I know I just feel as good as like I'm allowing myself to feel, you know, in any given moment. Wow, this is off subject, talking about all sorts of stuff. Since I was so rushed on tour, and I only got to spend about 15 seconds to say hello, Only got about 15 seconds to say hello. I made you a necklace. Yes, I made this. It's to illustrate that Dinny metaphor from Choke about every huge project is just a lot of small tasks done, beat by beat, bead by bead. Your necklace includes a yellow lump of honey amber that my brother Matt sent to me from South Africa. It's flanked by orange discs of carnelian agate, I don't know, agate, then faceted brown tiger's eyes. After that are greenish lumps of yellow turquoise, then gray moonstones. The big brown lumps are more carnelian agates. He did it to me. He got me twice on that. And the little skull is hand-carved bone. And it's my grandpa just died. So I guess I wrote him about that. And my grandpa's like, I mean, he's just one of my heroes. Like, I have pictures of him up. I have 3 pictures of him I can see in eyesight of where I'm at, like most of my time. Like, I love him so much, and I just don't know who I'd be without him, of course. And he was just a huge part of life. Like, it's like he's the reason why I don't even care if I'm bald, because like he was bald and he didn't, like he was beautiful. I mean, he just is. So I mean, I didn't think about that when I was a kid or anything like that. So I remember being like looking at pictures of my grandpa being like, "Oh, he's bald," and like I never even thought about that. That's like never even crossed my mind. It's just not something I even thought about, and I was like, "Cool, like this is like I got a lot of his genes because he's awesome." So that's good because he fought in World War II. Like he fucking like was there when they stormed Normandy. Like Jesus Christ, do I feel like a fucking pussy? I mean. Sorry, you know what I mean. I feel like a fucking wuss. I feel fucking... one of my friends was like, well, I know the generation before me was worse than the World War II generation, and we're definitely worse than the generation before us, so... I mean, it's just so true, man. I mean, we wouldn't be able to handle that, man. Millennials, like a war like that? Fucking no way, dude. That's why I just get... I mean, it's so amazing that it's really, really crazy. Like, it's really cool to hear his war stories, and he didn't really talk about it. He didn't want to. I mean, it's awful. I mean, it's something I hope I never have to encounter, and I'm just really. I mean, he's a way better person than I'll ever be. That's for sure. And just way braver than I'll ever be, because I can't even imagine that. I'm sorry about your grandfather. My own grandpa died I'm sorry about your grandfather. My own grandpa died last winter, but I still feel him watching me, wanting me to live as big a life as I can imagine. I believe all our dead loved ones are watching and wishing we'd risk and work to live our dreams. Their lives made our lives possible. Our lives are their greatest reward. Think about that. For now, wear the necklace and let it bring you good luck and inspiration. Then find that goal that puts you into a huge new future. You'll know it because it will be the biggest, corniest goal you can imagine. And that's not bad. That's perfect. And then he circled corniest and says, all my own goals are. Oh, there was a part of... I can't read one of those words, but something, my Oh, he drew an arrow, and it says, "My grandfather says the secret is to stay too busy to die. He lived to be 95." Wow. I believe all our dead loved ones are watching and wishing we'd risk and work to live our dreams. Their lives made our lives possible. Our lives are the greatest reward. Think about that for now. Wear the necklace and let it bring you good luck and inspiration. Then find that goal that pulls you into a huge new future. You'll know it because it will be the biggest, corniest goal you can imagine. And that's not bad. That's perfect. I'll shut up now. Chuck Palahniuk. And he signed his name in. I mean, between that and meeting Wayne Coyne and doing that, and they were really my two heroes. I mean, I didn't read books before Chuck Palahniuk. Fight Club was like the first book I read when I was like 13 or something. And one time someone threw away my Fight Club book, like a Mormon was like over or something and saw it or something, and they threw it away and like got rid of it. There's candy. I kind of want to eat this, but I'm not going to because it's more than 10 years old, but I'm sure it's fine. Magic confetti bag, but I mean, he was my fucking hero, and he still is one of my heroes. I mean, he's just super prolific and works really hard, and he's always really nice and gracious, because if I ever get fans, of course I want to be nice to them. I mean, that's like something that's never made sense to me, is like people that are like rude or mean to their fans, because it's like shows, it's just sort of like, I don't think you owe anything to them, but you've reached them, and what the art that's been channeled through you is like connected with people. And I mean, if they're being cool to you, it seems like Chuck Palahniuk and Wayne Coyne were so gracious and nice to me both times. Like, I've always wanted to extend that to and be like, if you know, and I do have fans, but not to like a huge level, but I'm always nice and encouraging. And if they send me like their albums or whatever, I mean, I'm always like, fuck yeah, dude. And it's cool, like, when I'm just looking at all this stuff and you can't see shit. I'm sorry. This is cool. I should fucking hang this up right now. I'll hang this up. It's loyalty. It's an Asian symbol. Obviously, I think that's Japanese. It's a tattoo, but I think loyalty is very important. That's a great quality. So let's put that right there. Body heat, another great quality. Magic confetti bag, great quality. I don't really know what this is. It's a weird fake check. That's kind of weird. Glow in the dark candles. Again, he sent me candy and chocolate, but I ate that. Little deck of playing cards. Pretty cool. Glow in the dark candles are really cool too. Again, the magic confetti. I guess I got 2 magic confetti bags. So, I mean, it's just cool, and I don't know. I love that attitude, man. I love, Wayne Coyne and the Flaming Lips have a song called "Enthusiasm for Life Defeats Existential Fear," and dude, there's just no way I was gonna ever fucking do. And it's my grandpa and my parents and everyone else like giving me this opportunity. And then to have like meeting my heroes and like talking to them and getting their encouragement and their like inspiration is like something I've always been like, you have to pass it on because someone passed it on to you. And it's just so cool. I'm just thinking about like how cool that is. Like, there's no way I was ever gonna do anything else. I mean, I'm finishing up my 9th album. I'm getting ready to release my 9th album this summer, and there was no way with like this much encouragement. I wasn't gonna. What is that? Lick a gift horse in the butt? What is that? I don't know how that phrase goes, but of course, that's so cool. I mean, that's so awesome that he did that. And so, because I would write in high school a little bit, but I lost all my writings, like my poetry and all my stories. But luckily, I got into screenwriting later on. But at the time, It made me feel really depressed, and I don't know why. Like, I'm obviously, if you've watched this show, you know I'm like a very obsessive guy, and obsessive and passionate is probably probably the best way I would describe myself, at least in 2 words at least. And I mean, there's other ones that aren't as positive. I guess obsessive isn't that great, but like, you know, like, oh, I have all the hardcovers of Chuck Palahniuk's books, and I stopped kind of collecting them, and I should go and buy the ones that I don't have, because I haven't read them. I mean, I have where is it? I can't think of what it's called right now. But I have another one of his books I'm gonna read pretty soon now, actually, to come to think of it. But what's my fucking point? About being obsessive, passionate. Hopefully I'll cut this out. Remember, where am I at? 21? I'm probably not gonna remember where to cut that out. But I become like huge fans of things when I do this, and my fucking writings, and so I was like so bummed that I lost writings, and I was like, oh, I lost my writings. And I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it, because I think like the ideas you get are special and sacred, and I think that's why you should write them down, because they're like these stories from this realm of like the 5th dimension that is another realm. And if you're getting ideas and like channels and music and melodies and stuff, you should write it down, because it's like, why is that happening? I don't know, but write it down. I mean, I don't think we totally know what's going on, but I mean, where do ideas come from? They come from people writing them down, and they come from people like cultivating their ideas. And so, you know, when you meet, like, if you want, whatever you want to do, you should do it. I really believe that. I mean, not everyone's going to be the fucking Grandmaster General Boombaster Boombalapa, but you can be good at stuff and enjoy doing stuff. Like, I'm really good at making music, but even if I wasn't, I'd still do it. You know, like, I mean, I'm going to make my living at making music. I'm certain of that. But also, it's so complex talking about that. Like, I'm not a fucking chess player, but if I really wanted to get into chess, I should do it, but I would never be like the greatest chess player, because it's just not where my intellect lies in that kind of thinking. You know, I am just like an artist, and that's just who I am. But or just like a storyteller. Some people are storytellers, some people are like mathematicians, some people are scientists, some people are like more caretakers, some people are, I mean, and everyone's combinations of all those things too. But my point is I want to do this as my living and my job, so I take it very seriously. You don't have to do that to fucking write a book, to do something you love. Like, take you a lot longer if you're not super serious about it, but you know, if you take little tiny steps and do it, and then you just see and you look at like your accomplishments and you say like, that's cool that I did that. Like, making the complete first season is my first album, and making that album changed my life. Like, making Monkey Man, making A Light Will Be Thrown, which is my 4th album, changed my life, and that I was like, that's a pretty dope album. And then making Monkey Man changed my life too, that I was like, that's a dope album, and I knew what I was doing in a way. Like, I was way more advanced engineering wise and things like that. So that was awesome. And there were realizations of like hard work can equate to work equates to results, and there's like a physical manifestation of that, and being like, okay, it took me 2 or 3 years to make the complete first season, in a way, because it was, or I guess 2 years, because 2 years 4 months, I guess, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, thinking about when I first wrote my first song to when the album came out, it was like 2.5 years, I guess, 2 years or so. And it was like 2 years. I don't know why I'm obsessive, but it's a fucking point. I'm stoned as fuck. But it took me a long time to get to the point where I was comfortable enough to release something, and then I did, and it was exciting, and I was glad to see that it was like yielding results, and I'm still working on that, and I like want to make a movie, but there's this part of me that's like, just like anyone else, like I've made music before, and I'm really confident in my music, but I haven't made a movie before, so I'm confident in my ability to do it, but like, it's still way more vulnerable, because it's like this thing I haven't done before, and this journey I haven't gone on, so I can't hold myself back from that, you know? I don't know who said this, but it's like, you're the fucking pilot, you're the plane, you're the landing strip, you're the air traffic control person, you're the person waving it in, like, you're everyone, and all you have to do is, like, give yourself permission to do this, and, like, going back to, like, have the biggest dream, as corny as it sounds. Like, I know what my dream is, and, like, it's so cool to, like, I just think life is so awesome. As stupid as that is to say, in a way. But, like, life is so awesome, and I mean that not in, like, a Bill and Ted's, I mean that not in, like, a Valley Girl type way, but we can't think about it, because if we thought about it all the time, like, we wouldn't eat food, and we wouldn't fuck, and we would do that stuff, but like, we wouldn't, be in survival mode, like, we don't get to where we're at by just being like, whoa, look at all the sunlight, you know, like this lion fucking comes and eats us, like, we gotta fucking be on alert, and we have this, you know, but it's like that old saying about, like, the Buddhists, it's like the raft can get you across the river, but if you keep carrying the raft, it's like this huge heavy weight that you're just carrying. And I knew that was going to sidetrack me. I was like, I'm going to go off on that Buddhist thing, and then it's going to sidetrack me. I knew it. And it did. But, like, the whole that's, the whole, what am I thinking about here? What am I thinking about here? Life is fucking awesome. That's what I was talking about, right? I mean, you can get a fucking elephant from the guy who wrote Fight Club, from the guy who wrote Choke, the guy who wrote some of my favorite books ever. But it's also, to me, like, so important to just also, like, and just enjoy everything, like, as it's happening, because fuck, man, I just really thought, when I make my ninth album, finally! And it feels good, but it's, I mean, life's life, and you gotta work out, and you gotta fucking maintain, dude, you take a shower, and you start to smell bad, and you gotta take a shower, and you gotta take a shower, and that's just the way it is. Look at this, I fucking this is Choke. This is Choke. This is like going back, dude. I've always had this stuff because of Fight Club. Because of, like, that. We're gonna just go pee together, because I don't feel like stopping this. Okay. Because of Fight Club, I was always, like, super weary of, like, this idea of the American dream, and there's been a lot of, like, like, you know, this white privilege, people in really high places of power being like, oh, materialism doesn't mean anything, but at the same time, it's like, you should, I guess, in a way, listen to people's experiences, because I think white people are pretty unhappy in a lot of ways, and are very isolated, like, I think more so than people of color. I think people of color have, like, more, I'm being a racist right now, but a racial whatever, but just I feel like there's more of a, like, a family connection, whatever. I mean, I'm really talking out of my ass, I know that, but Like, there's a lot of white shooters and things like that, and I don't think that's like coincidental. I think that there's an aspect of emptiness that comes with, and that's what Fight Club's about a lot of the ways. It's not about mass shooting. I'm not saying it's not defendable at all. But you look at that and say, okay, well, what is that? That only happens with this one really group of demographic. What's the fucking point? Dude, I just realized like getting fucking rich when I was a kid reading Fight Club and stuff. It's like I had rich friends and they're like had rich families and stuff, and you just realize like, oh, getting rich is not the fucking goal. Like that's not the end all be all of all things, because they didn't seem very happy, and Fight Club's really about that. And I think also Fight Club isn't about anarchy. I think it's about like the pendulum swinging from him being like this corporate dude to swinging the other way to him being like this crazy, hates society, wants to burn everything down, to him just being like a kind of a well-adjusted, at the end of the movie, I mean, I guess he shot himself in the head, but a well-adjusted member of society in a way. Someone that's like authoring his own story rather than like being pushed around by his job and his boss, or pushed around by Tyler Durden and like Project Mayhem, or whatever it was called. Yeah, Project Mayhem, because they're both these systems, you know. And that's what I think Fight Club's about. It's about just like finding your individuality. And so it's cool to like have these themes and have these things that I've thought about. It's cool to like have that early on, and always just hear about how Chuck Palahniuk fucking worked his fucking ass off and like, you know, worked in the areas. Look at that guy. Worked his fucking ass off and like doing worked in a car place, whatever. Doing like manual labor type shit while he was writing books and while he was doing all this stuff. And I love that story. Same thing with like Wayne Coyne, hearing about like how he fucking just like worked till he was like he worked for like 16 years or whatever at Long John Silver's. He just busted his ass, and then his band is like one of the most famous bands, and his band's one of the most innovative, creative bands, and the whole time it's like he was just making fucking, you know, washing dishes or whatever in the back, or making food, frying fish, and there he is being a genius. And that's like the whole point. Everyone is the people. Everybody is people. That's so. When I say stuff like that, I get so sad. Not really. I don't actually. I think it's silly. But just like, you know, obviously everyone takes shits and stuff like that. But so I cut out. I really went through Choke. I really liked Choke. I have all this stuff cut out and pasted in. Alright, whatever, I'll read what I posted in here. People are always saying that Choke is the second half of Fight Club, because at the end of Fight Club, the book, there's the concept that no matter what you get over personally, people are still going to view you as whatever you were before. That's why it's so easy to slide back. People always treat you like what you were rather than the thing you are now. Choke is about finally resolving that external expectation to be a certain way and deciding for yourself how you're going to be. Choke is about finally resolving that external expectation to be a certain way and deciding for yourself how you're going to be. So in a way, the two are sort of bookends that complete the process. That's why it's so easy to slide back. People always treat you like you were rather than the thing you are now. Choke is about finally resolving that external expectation to be a certain way and deciding for yourself how you're going to be. So in a way, the two are sort of bookends that complete the process. And I think growing up in Utah, like this really Mormon cult, you know, I love Mormons, but it's still a cult, and this very keeping up with the Joneses type thing. I mean, these are themes I've dealt with ever. It's so interesting. These are things I cut out in this book. You know, half my life, 16 years ago. Maybe everything in the world isn't nearly as terrifying as I think it's going to be. If we never challenge ourselves to come up against these things, we never really know what we're capable of. I mean, these are just theme. You know, that, I mean, I've talked about this before, like, you know, there's only 6 stories or whatever, and man versus himself is definitely mine. Like, it's my, like, I'm not against society, I'm not against myself, but like, it's me. Yeah, I mean, I'm the one holding myself back in so many ways, and it's cool to see that I've been, like, battling this stuff. Like, these are the themes of my life. It's cool that, but also at the same time, it's like, alright, it's time to fucking get your shit together then. But I also hopefully am in a lot of ways. This is a really weird podcast. In a way, people used to identify themselves by who they were or what they produced. And more people are identifying themselves by what happened to them, by their victimhood, or what they're dying of. They used to say, I'm a writer, I'm a dancer, I'm something noble. Now they say, I'm the adult child of alcoholics, and I'm the form that try and help them recover for those identities sometimes are only and the forms that try and help them recover from those identities sometimes are only reinforcing those identities. I wonder what you'd have to say about what's going on in 2017. Yo, man, 2017's crazy, dog. You can't say nothing. Let's see right there. That was fucking racist as fuck. What I just did. Victor is so completely living to fulfill the expectations of people around him, he said. He's fulfilling the expectations of women in his group who want sex. He's fulfilling the expectations of his mother, the people he works with. He completely defines himself by external things. The same way, this is me writing, the same way Victor took the blame for things and let people use him, while Paige uses him to get pregnant. Ooh, spoiler alert. He gets used, I guess. I guess that's how I took that. This story. Okay, can't read that. Another pasting. This one's upside down. Dude, what a crazy person I am. The book's main character, Victor Mancini, to try out. I was at a bar with my friends having a few beers, and I realized I didn't have any money, so I started looking around for things that I could possibly swallow and pretend to choke on, so that maybe I could get enough pity that I wouldn't have to pay the tab. That's funny. Let's see here. Let's go here. Let's read a little bit from this book. Let's read. No, I'm not going to do a reading because that wouldn't make any sense. Because it just wouldn't make any sense. Well, let's... Okay. And then I would reference other chapters. Okay, I'll try to edit. I don't know if I will. Alright, maybe I've talked enough about Chuck. Maybe it's time to move on to Ween. Ween! What can you say about Ween? What can I say about Ween? What can I say about Ween that hasn't already been said? Alright, WeenTablature.com. Ween was a band. I was in high school. It's getting around the same time that I'm reading Chuck Palahniuk. All this stuff is kind of going on, and my friend, I don't know if he heard my music or he was just a big Ween fan. He was like, you should listen to Ween. And I only listened to one song. And, one song. And I was like, I don't know if I can listen to this. You fucked up! You! I'm not going to be able to do that. You have to just listen to that song. It's called You Fucked Up. You bitch. You really fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. You bitch. You fucking fucked up. You fucked up. You fucking Nazi whore. Well, you dicked me over, and now you'll pay. You fucked up. I'm not gonna keep trying to do that. I know that was bad. I know that was bad. If you listen to the real song, which I get flagged on YouTube if I do, but it's fucking really intense. And I was like, I thought they were just this, like, I thought that every song was gonna sound like that. Little did I know every song sounded different. But I'm glad I didn't listen to them until I was like, I didn't listen to them until a couple years. I didn't listen to them a couple years later, and I'm glad I didn't because I got to them into them in college, and I had already been making music for a couple years. And so I was glad because my music, when I heard Ween, I was like, what? People like weird music? And I found out they did. And they're a huge influence on me as songwriters and as like a producer and all this stuff. I mean, I'm way less weird than Ween, for sure, but they just influenced me so much. Just, they don't give a fuck, and their music was like DIY, and I think like their first 3 albums they just recorded by themselves. And they're fucking really good band. And I've seen them live a few times. They fucking played with the Flaming Lips once. And then I saw them in Salt Lake before that, like right before they played at the Denver, at the Red Rocks. And they're just so good. So let me actually do a song of theirs justice. Because I remember hearing this song when I wanted to break up with my girlfriend. I mean, fuck. Oh, dude, I know what song I'm gonna sing first. Dude, I mean, the Mollusk is my favorite. I love the Mollusk. I just feel so. I'm sorry about all the dead space. I hope it's all right. I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to be real. Took my true love from me. I couldn't believe she wanted to leave. And I've loved you so long, since you were a child. I've cared for your every need. I've tried to make you smile, and all the while you wanted to leave. You wanted to leave. So gather gun, blast them at sea. Oh. Go gather the guns. We'll blast them at sea. She begged for me not to shoot. She said, for my true love is here with me. And I've never loved thee. difference. Fill up my glass to the rim. For I'm not the man that I used to be. I'm one of them. I didn't do that very well either, but I should bring water. I'm a fucking fan of your mom's house podcast. I don't even have any fucking water. That's not kind of fan am I. Jeans on high and tight though, for sure. Your mom's house podcast. I'm still freaking out about that. All right, play a couple more Ween songs. I don't really know I love Ween. They made me realize, like, oh yeah, people are gonna like my music. Like, my music's way less weird than this, but it's also, like, honest and raw, and so I just knew people would like my stuff because of this, and not like, oh, they sucked, but just a band that changed a lot, and it was just kind of silly, and I don't think my band's like that, but they still inspired me. Hopefully we do change a lot, but hopefully we're silly sometimes, but I also feel like my music's where I get a lot of my romance and emotions out. A lot of my romance. That sounds like it worked. Alright. I don't want to leave you on the farm. I don't want to leave you on the farm. I don't want to go out just so you know. I don't want to leave you on the farm. Days go by and I'm still high, but you know, I'm thinking about you. Corn turns brown, leaves fall to the ground. It's a sound that reminds me of you. I don't want to leave you on the farm. I don't want to leave you on the farm. I don't want to go out just so you know. I don't want to leave you on the farm. No telephone to call you at home. I'm alone on my own. Go get something, hey, thanks for nothing. I'll keep trucking, getting myself stoned. I don't want to leave you on the farm. I don't want to leave you on the farm. Oh, I don't want to go out just so you know. I don't want to leave you on the farm. Days go by and I'm still am, but you know I'm thinking about you. Corns turn brown, leaves fall to the ground. It's a sound that sticks like glue. I don't want to leave you on the farm. I don't want to leave you on the Another Ween song, please. Another Ween song. Everything that you are, that you like to be. Everything that you are, and everything that you are, that you like to be, will come in threes, my friend. Times thine inequity, the flutes of the cheek will sound again, my friend. Wrap yourself up in gold, the fruit of the old are ripe to be told, my friend. But it's not what you are, how you've come to be. All this will end and begin again. Everything that you are, that you like to be, will come in threes, my friend. Mine inequities, flutes of the cheek will sound again, my friend. 'Cause everything that you are, that you like to be, will come in three, my friend. Times thine inequities, the flutes of the cheek will sound again, my friend. I mean, and they're so fucking good. Alright. Do this song. I might record the Richard Linklater section a little later because I'm feeling a little tired. I'm a little tired. I want to be boring, but it's all. I mean, hopefully this has been an alright episode. I feel like there's a lot of dead space in it, but you know, people are like, oh, and they cut out the ums and they cut out the likes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like. I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on. If I could remake a Chuck Palahniuk movie, I would make Choke. And I would make an NC-17 version of it. That's very cheap, but you can't really make that movie cheap because you gotta build a fucking rock castle. I would try to figure it out. Because there's a lot of sex in it, and I would want to... I mean, it's just sex, you know? I've seen fucking Nagisa Oshima movies, and it's cool. People are just fucking and talking, and it's like normal life. That's what you do when you're with someone. You're not all covered up all the time. Your balls are hanging out, or tits are flapping about. Your balls are hanging out, and her tits are flapping about as you're fucking on the couch, as you're fucking in your house, and people don't wanna show that. Hollywood don't wanna show that. They wanna people under sheets, people looking neat. There's no come on, girls facey. That's not even a word, facey. Facing your ball sack. That kind of made sense in a way. I would just make that movie. Anyway, that would be the one I want to make the most. This song is called It's Gonna Be Alright. It's by Ween. It's kind of the song that like if you want to get someone into Ween, you show them this song, and then they're like, well, what about other songs like this? And you're like, but listen to them more. Listen to those songs, because baby, what have I done? Gonna left you all alone. It's hard for me to sing this song. We've been together. I'm not singing it very well. Baby, what have I done? Gone and left you all alone. It's hard for me to sing this song. We've been together for so long. I think I know what my soul's got to say. Someday it's gonna be alright, baby. It's gonna be alright, love. And if the mist ever lets the sun through, I just hope I do the right thing. Me and you. I guess I'm ruled by my heart. I built a life and I tore it all apart. It's just not our time, but you'll find a new love and you'll be mine. You'll be fine. So many dark and lonely nights, and I believe someday I will see the light. It's gonna be alright, baby. It's gonna be alright, love. Mist ever lets the sun through, I just hope I did the right thing. Me and you. It's gonna be alright, baby. It's gonna be alright, love. And if the mist ever lets the sun through, I just hope I did the right thing for me and you. Ween is really good. I want to sing another Ween song. I guess it's hard for me to articulate why I like music. I'm not a fucking Pitchfork reviewer. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to like talk about my feelings in that way. Like, I love Ween. They make me feel good. They make me feel like I'm not a freak, or that I am those other freaks that there's lots of freaks, you know, that you can be a freaky freak and be freaky. Yeah, I was going to sing that. I was going to sing a song. Let's begin. I wanted to sing. Oh, fuck. Whatever. the morning sun, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell the things, so many things, about how much I really love you, about how much you really mean to me. So far away, I'm gonna restart. In the morning sun, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell all the things, so many things. I can tell you so many things, about how much I really love you, about how much you really mean to me. You're so far away, but it's so easy to see you. When I'm away, I wanna put my arms around you, 'cause I wanna know if you feel the same way. 'Cause if you do, I want you to stay forever. And I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever. Stay forever, stay forever. So many colors that surround you, some so bright I can hardly see. They're right reflecting on the things that made you real, things that make you truly free. So far away, but it's so easy to see you. When I'm away, I wanna put my arms around you, and I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever. And I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever. And I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever. And I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever. Dude, that is just a good fucking song, man. That's about love, dog. Shit's about love. Fat lady! There's so many good songs. I want to sing one more song. I want to, because I love to sing. I love to sing. I love to sing. It's just so fun to sing. And like, I was making shit, and then I heard their album, and I was like, they made shit on an 8-track. And them and fucking Iron and Wine was huge too. Just being like, just do it, man. Iron and Wine just did it, and he got famous. And that doesn't matter, but he did it, and he made great music. He did it, and he made great music, and people enjoyed it. And that's early stuff by Iron and Wine is still so good. I still didn't pee. I should go pee. I should pee. I mean, I'm gonna pee and then I'm gonna record the Richard Linklater part of this and I'm gonna get this shit up online. last time I saw you, I was holding your hand, and I couldn't wait for you to leave me. I knew right then that it was over and done, and I could not believe it. Let me restart. Last night I saw you, I was holding your hand, I couldn't wait for you to leave me. I knew right then that it was over and done, and I could not believe that I was free. Help me now, I'm going down, and I don't know if I'll be okay. I'll be around, I'll be in town, if you need a place to stay. I know I didn't get any of those chords right, really, but it sounded alright. And when the wind blows and there's a chill in the air, I hope that someone is taking care of you. I'm alright. Okay, just so you know, I'm always there for you. Help me now, I'm going down, I don't know if I'll be okay. I'll be around, I'll be in town, if you need a place to stay. I had a fart. It's gonna be a fart. There's a fart coming. Oh, it's not a fun fart either. It's like a brrr. This is not a fun one. Okay, let's see how good. It's quiet. It smells awful. I farted just like I farted, and then I went right into the space that I farted into. It smells great. You gotta be kidding me. I'm so excited about singing this song. I'm not. I didn't want to sing that one. Alright. Let's sing a song from Chocolate and Cheese. I didn't do any of those. Chocolate and Cheese. Last song on Chocolate and Cheese. Don't shit where you eat. Something I try to remember. Like you're like, oh, that girl's hot at work. You have sex with her. You guys have sex. I had sex with her. Sounds like she wasn't there. Like I did it, but she didn't do it. We had sex. Makes more sense. And then you have sex. You have sex with her, right? And then we have sex. And it's just like, especially early Drake, you can only take so much Drake. And it's just like, that's all she wanted to listen to. And it was like, you know, it wasn't that, but it's indicative of like her culture status, where she was at. She wasn't, I'm not saying bad in a bad way. She just wasn't, She's not fucking reading books, let me just say that don't have vampires and aren't written by an ex-Mormon. Whatever, she only read Twilight. Whatever, blah blah blah. I don't know if she even read Twilight. She's the one girl that I wouldn't show a picture of to my friends that I've dated. I'd be like, I don't know who that is, even though we fucked and dated. What's the point? But yeah, so we're co-workers, right? We have sex and it's fun. And then one time I didn't use a condom because I was an idiot. Well, it came off, and then I realized as it came off, but I still went for it, and I was drunk, and I came inside. That was so fucking stupid. I could have a cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. I don't even want to say it because of her, because I don't want to have one with her. No. That would be awful if I had one with her. Oh, no. So I'm really thankful that I did not, and I'm really thankful I do not. I know that's kind of rude or whatever, but my kid would be kind of retarded or something. I know you're not supposed to say retarded, but guess what? I just did. And I realized that it's offensive. Okay, what's the point? We have sex, and we stop having sex, and then she starts fucking my manager, dude. And it's like, oh, really? He wasn't my manager, but he was a supervisor. And she started fucking him. She started fucking the supervisor. He was the kind of guy that would go on the beach and wear a visor. I mean, that's true, but I also just need something to rhyme. And it was kind of awkward. I was like, man, you shouldn't fuck coworkers. And I haven't since. Because you don't share where you eat. Don't you ever think of me when you're outside strolling? Don't you ever raise the flag when you're out and rolling? Don't shit where you eat, my friend. Who said it was hard to climb the peak that you can't see? Tell you it's an easy thing. This is the life of when it's you and me. But don't shit where you eat, my friend. A little food and I think it's just I haven't listened to Ween in a while. I think I'm gonna go on a Ween kick right now. My friend was listening to the other day. I wanted to have 5 episodes about this I Love series, and kind of going into music. Why is it my fucking theme song? Hey there, everybody in the World Wide Web. Welcome to my podcast, music, movies, comedy, and eating ass. Welcome to my podcast. I don't talk about a comedian on any of these episodes, do I? No, I do. Fucking, I'm gonna do your mom's podcast. Music, movies, comedy, and eating ass. Yeah, alright. Covering all the bases with these 5 episodes of I Love, because people out there that follow their dreams inspire other people to follow their dreams. It's like a flame, the flame of humanity, and the flame of being a contributing member of society by creating through alchemy and through hard work and will something that didn't exist before you, that you brought into this world. And some people do that through inventing cars, people like Elon Musk. And then there's people that are artists or comedians or things like that. And I think it's awesome if we can all contribute to the flame of humanity to make it a world a better place. And so people, I think, inspire other people. And I want to make these episodes about these people that I really love. So, because they really inspired me. And I feel really thankful to have crossed paths with their art and their work, because it's magnified and amplified the beauty of life and made my life better through their hard work. And not made my life better through their hard work, but their hard work has made my life better in so many countless other people's lives. And I just think art is awesome, and we should make more art and fart instead of murdering as much. We should do less of that as a human state. And we gotta get together. We gotta have fun. We gotta get together. Muslims. I just wanted to rhyme right there. We gotta get together, Christians, Muslims. We gotta be friends. We're gonna share this earth with these bombs. We gotta figure out a way to be friends. You know, it's like as technology advances, we have to advance as a human species. And I have a long way to go. I have a long way to go. If it sounds like I'm being arrogant, I have a long way to go. I have a long, long way to go. I have a long way to go. Don't you ever think of me when you're outside strolling. Don't you ever raise the flag when you're rocking and rolling. Don't shit where you eat, my friend. Who said it was hard to climb the peak that you can't see? I tell you it's an easy thing when it's you and me, love. Just don't shit where you eat, my friend. A little food and drink up, nothing too fancy. Lamb, veal, and some good old wine. This is the life for me. Don't shit where you eat, my friend. 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 Alright, just going back to that, like, point about life being awesome. I mean, it just isn't. You know, the whole entire Big Bang is pulsing inside of all of us. At every moment we're alive, we're at the precipice of the Big Bang. Now is just the most current incarnation of existence. And that's cool. It's cool to have that perspective. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's like you just get caught up. And it's like you're just looking at the bark of the trees, you know? Okay, so let's see here. I wrote a couple notes. So this is going to be the Richard Linklater section. I'm just going to talk for like 30 minutes about Richard Linklater. One time I saw an SNL skit that they were like doing a film school thing, and I can't remember what other director, but it was like they just kept saying like every film student was like, I'm influenced by, I can't remember who it was, but it was like Quentin Tarantino and Richard Linklater. And then someone else would be like, well, I really love Quentin Tarantino and Richard Linklater. And they were kind of making fun of people for liking Richard Linklater. But fuck that! Fuck SNL! Just kidding. I mean, I don't give a shit. Richard Linklater is awesome. Well, I'm watching It's Impossible to Learn How to Plow by reading books. It's on in the background, and just like, fuck it, yeah, he's awesome. I mean, he's super encouraging, and it's like really cool too, because he's made all these great movies, but then you can sort of, you know, he's got, you know, I never had seen a movie Paul Schrader directed until like, I mean, your heroes, and you can look up lists of his favorite movies and watch these movies, and like, great movies like Pale Flower, great movies that he recommends, and you can watch them, and you know, let's look, see, what was Richard Linklater's criterion? What's his list? He has a great list. And he's a filmmaker. That's why he's so influential, is because he's so good. It's like the Beatles. It's like people laugh. people get influenced by the Beatles because... Oh, sweet, I got a fart. That was a really good one. You know, there was a reason. And it's crazy to look at his first film and just like see how far he's come, you know? Music and all of these art forms, they're magical in that if you take them seriously and spiritually, or I get that's a metaphor word, but like if you take them sincerely, you keep working at it, you get better and you just get powers. I'm burping and farting. I've had diarrhea so bad today. That's probably why I'm kind of low energy on this last little part, but fuck yeah, I want to finish this episode. It's cool. I mean, this movie looks really good. And just, he has so much power from all the work he does. And that's like something that I feel like so fucking like I'm slacking on so hard. Is watching movies and making short films, because like that's what you do when you want to be a filmmaker. And it's like, I'm making this 9th album, but at the same time it's like you can come up with, that's what other people do, they come up with excuses, and I don't want to be the kind of person that comes up with an excuse. I just want to do it. It's making films is, I mean, I have so much respect for filmmakers, because like making an album, you're rallying 4 or 5 people together to do that. Let's say it's a low budget album, and I guess you could do that with a film, but you're like, I can make an album by myself pretty much and not be reliant. I could do a lot of work by myself, but like you have to be reliant every single time that all 4 or 5 people are getting together to make this movie, and you're all seeing one goal, you have one thing, and that's what a director does, of course, just directs the movie to become a vision, you know. And that's like, I don't know, there's some quote like, you know, artists don't get paid for their work, they get paid for their vision, and it's really true, because everyone's got a vision that's unique. And that's going back to like the universe being so fucking awesome to be a part of and being at the precipice of it. It's like, that's what we do. We get to like express our corner of the universe, our little piece of the universe. And Richard Linklater is pretty fit. That's what I'm finding out right now. I'm just looking at the visuals, so I'm actually never seen this movie, so I'm gonna watch it. I think it's one of the only movies I haven't seen. But yeah, it's exciting too though, because I'm at square one of being a filmmaker. Like I'm at zero. I have like no experience at all. I've made a couple shorts, but like as far as I'm concerned, I'm at square one, and so it's cool to be at that point, because I'm not at square one musically, but I'm a square one filmmaker. I'm with anyone else. I mean, I guess it's not totally true in the sense that like once I think you make a lot of art, you get a lot of you kind of art. There's things that connect between different art forms, so I feel like I'll have an advantage because I've worked so much at music. But at the same time, I'm starting at square one, and you know, I've done improv classes and done all this kind of stuff. But I mean, I am nowhere near where I want to be. Even musically, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But film, way more so. And so, wow, I'm looking at it's Amtrak right now in the shot, and I took an Amtrak this weekend here out to Reno from Utah where I played a show. But it's funny to just be like, oh, they haven't updated it all. This was in the early 90s, and they have not updated. Yeah, they have not updated their train. He's on the exact same Amtrak that we're on. The seats are the same. Oh my gosh! I guess if it's not broken, don't fix it. But that's so fun. It's the exact doors they still have, the exact signs. Something tells me Europe has better trains. But yeah, it's fun to just be like, okay, and then it's up to me to get good at it. It's up to me to work it. It's up to me to make it happen. Like, no one makes art for you. No one can work out for you. No one can eat your diet for you. You have to do it, and it's just really inspiring and really cool to just see. I'm excited. This is a cool movie. I'm excited to watch this. I can already relate to this shit just visually. That's America, dude. Taking the train. It's such a fucking visceral experience. It really is. You cannot be in a rush. They will be late, probably. But wow, this is really cool. This is neat. Yeah, so I mean that's cool, and it's cool. You know, your heroes, and you're my hero. And so he's got Andrei Tarkovsky's Andrei Rublev as number one, which is an amazing movie. Alhazar Balthazar, I don't know how to say it, but the movie about a horse, it's incredible. Robert Bresson. Alhazar Balthazar. I mean, and so it's like getting into, I mean, of course, The Last Temptation of Christ. I love Martin Scorsese. And that's the thing. So, I mean, anyone that's my age, I'm 31, is going to be influenced by Richard Linklater, Kevin Smith, Quentin Tarantino. Like, those are kind of like huge names because they were just the people that were around. You know, and obviously there are forefathers like to them, like Martin Scorsese and all these guys. But it's Pickpocket, Robert Bresson again. Unfaithfully Yours, I have not seen that. Preston Sturges, so I want to watch that. And so your heroes have heroes, and you get to see where they're coming from, which is so cool too, because it's all connected. That's so crazy to just see Richard Linklater in the train. It's like the train that we all do, the same train they still have. So I'm really excited. I mean, that's like I wanted to be done with my album by now, but you can't rush everything, and I'm still gonna make a movie. I'm still like gonna do all this stuff, and it's just exciting. It's exciting to just do something really, really new. Richard Linklater is one of my favorite directors too. I mean, I love kind of how his movies rhyme, and his movies have themes, but they're also so different, just like someone would approach an album. Like, they're all so unique and so different. But he also has things that rhyme, like Slacker. He's in the back of a taxi and he's talking to the taxi driver, and in Waking Life, like the beginning of Waking Life, it's the driver talking and he's in the back, and Richard Linklater's in the back, and it's like these sort of themes and these rhymes and the beautiful poetry of life, because life does have rhymes, and life does have these connections that if you pay attention to, you can make. And like synchronicities happen if you pay attention to them, but also synchronicities can be cultivated by your attention, but also as an artist, like you're making connections, you're making these themes, and you're telling your story, and you're finding a way to like express your story. That's all you can really do, is express your story, and that's, everyone's unique. And you know, Richard Linklater's so different than Wong Kar-wai or someone else like that, and you know, and I just love visions and directors that are just so good. Like, this is so cool. This is really cool, seeing his earliest movie. I've never seen this. It's on YouTube right now. I should probably buy it, but whatever. I'm watching on YouTube right now, and it's really cool. Yeah, and I mean, just I love that how he flips genres. He does that thing. He just does all that. What's the last note I have about this? Yeah, I think that's I noted it up on that. I'm fucking wiped. I'm tired. I'm not gonna 15 more minutes. I'm not gonna try to be boring, but fuck, I'm tired. Alright, let's go through. Let's see. Talking about is like an album, so it's Impossible to Learn How to Plow by Reading Books. I haven't watched that, so I can't really speak on it, but it looks really cool so far. Slacker. It's not on Hulu anymore, even though it's linked to be on Hulu, which is sad. Fandor. What the hell's Fandor? Included with Fandor on Amazon. There's just so... There's just so many streaming services. You just gotta buy the movies one individually. So, Slacker, amazing. I love that movie. There's a part in that movie that I love so much where one of the women is talking about, she's talking about rejection. And it seems like rejection looms ever present. Rejection, the one thing I'm not scared of anymore. I've conquered the fear of rejection. I guess I kind of look at it as a trade-off. It's like you reject, you're being rejected constantly. And I think that's really true. I mean, on top of like, oh, you want what you can't have type deal, I think people just don't even notice when they're the ones doing it. You know, there's this girl that's like hitting me up, and it's like you never know for sure because they're not like, hey, you want to go on a date, but you're like, I mean, I'm not interested in you, so, but she's a cool lady, but I'm not interested in her, and so it's like, can I be bummed if girls aren't messaging me back, if I'm not messaging girls back, you know, or it's a constant cycle. I mean, you're doing it all the time, and everyone's doing it to you. And I really love that quote. And I mean, I just love Slacker so much. It's just a really poetic, awesome movie. Now, Dazed and Confused, that's like one of my favorite movies ever. I'll talk to you. Dazed and Confused is fucking. Do you have a joint? It'd be a lot cooler if you did. I mean, come on. I mean, I think it's my favorite movie. I mean, that, Boogie Nights, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High are probably my 3 favorite movies. And I just really like it. It's just all about, you know, if you haven't seen it, but it's just about that, like, feeling of angst. Not even angst. Yearning. It's a feeling of yearning. And it's just something I relate to a lot and I love. And, you know, it's funny to like be 31 now and watch it versus being 21. Obviously, I don't look not handsome like fucking Matthew McConaughey in any way, but it's funny to be like, oh yeah, I'm like this guy that's older now and making out with 18-year-olds sometimes. Not in the last couple of years, but I did make out with an 18-year-old when I was like 28. No, more fucking recently than that. And I would have had sex with her too. She is fucking amazing looking, but so it's like this thing where I'm like, oh, when I was 21 watching that movie, or 22 when I first started getting high, now it's like you just sort of see. It's interesting to watch these movies in different phases and be like, I don't know if I want to be like that guy, but at the same time, I do want to be like Matthew McConaughey because he's super fucking fit and handsome and awesome, and he's driving a cool car in that movie, so whatever. Dazed and Confused, one of my favorites. I love high school movies. I love ensemble movies that really come together like that. And I think I just like movies about youth and innocence and things like that. I think it's just appealing to me because I have a lot of friends that are like 22 too, because people get really cynical as they get older, and it's kind of hard to be around for me because I'm like, I'm still a kid, I'm still reading comics, I'm still like, you know, fucking making music and doing this shit, so I'm not trying to, I mean, I want to progress and get more mature, but I'm not trying to like grow up in a lame way. Before Sunrise, I mean, I don't know what to say about that movie. It's incredible. I love the Before trilogy. I just think, you know, as I walked out one evening, when he quotes, W.H. Auden. I didn't look it up. I was like, come on, I know who the fuck wrote that poem. I love when he, in that movie, when he quotes W.H. Auden to the girl, I'm meeting a French girl on a train. That's like, oh, and that's cool too, because his first movie had a train. Meeting a girl on a train, that's like your dream. And I never had an experience like that, but I did meet a girl on a train once, and it was cool. This sort of, we cuddled a little bit, and she's like, this is too awkward, because we just met. And it was very uncomfortable too, but that's the dream, is to fall in love like this. I think everyone relates to this movie because we all have that dream, and it's really scary to go for it. Like, the more you feel, the more you risk, the more you have reward, but the more you also have, like, the risk of pain. So I think we all relate to that movie in the sense that we're like, oh, I want that, and I want to go for that, and I want to be brave, and I want to be charismatic, and I want to do all this stuff. But a lot of times we just hide in our shells. And I mean, I'm kind of bummed out on this whole, like, dating millennial stuff, man. I just don't even know, man. Again, I'm a Willennial, which means I bought Big Willie Style on CD. Millennials never bought a CD, so I'm a Willennial. As I walked out one evening, walking down Bristol Street, the crowds upon the pavement were wheels of harvest wheat. And down by the brimming river, I heard a lover sing. Under an arch of the railway, love has no ending. I'll love you, dear, I'll love you, till China and Africa meet, and the river jumps over the mountains, and the salmon sing in the street. I'll love you till the ocean is folded and hung up to dry, and the 7 stars go squawking like geese about the sky. The years shall run like rabbits, for in my arms I hold the flower of the ages and the first love of the world. But all the clocks in the city began to whir and chime. Oh, let not time deceive you. You cannot conquer time. In the burrows of the nightmare, where justice naked is, time watches from the shadow and coughs when you would kiss. I'm going to repeat that one. In the burrows of the nightmare, where justice naked is, time watches from the shadow and coughs when you would kiss. And headache and in worry vaguely life leaks away, and time will have his fancy tomorrow or today. Into many a green valley drifts the appalling snow. Time breaks the threaded dances and the diver's brilliant bow. Oh, plunge your hands in water, plunge them in up to the wrist. Stare in the basin, and wonder what you've missed. The glacier knocks in the cupboard, the desert sighs in the bed, and the crack in the teacups opens a lane to the land of the dead, where the beggars raffle the banknotes, and the giant is enchanting to Jack, and the lily-white boy is a roarer, and Jill goes down on her back. Oh, look in the mirror, oh, look in your distress. Life remains a blessing, although you cannot bless. Oh, stand in the window, as the tears scald and start. You shall love your crooked neighbor with your crooked heart. It was late in the evening, the lovers they were gone. The clocks had ceased their chiming, and the deep river ran on. So I love that movie too, and I mean I knew W.H. Auden. I had his book. My brother had bought his book, but I never cracked it open. And getting into W.H. Auden from that it was amazing. And the Before trilogy just reminds me of Orthohanis, and how much of a coward I am for not going after her. But it's actually not true. I wrote her an email, and so I'm going to, I guess, wait a couple days or wait till it feels right. I need to send it soon. But I wrote her an email just telling her that I love her and everything I wanted to say, that I'm thankful for all the inspiration she gave me, that I'm just thankful for the time I got to spend with her, that I'm sorry for the times I lied to her, like when I lied and said that, when I lied and said I slept in at her graduation, but I was at home smoking weed watching Bad Boys 1 and 2 because I was angry that she didn't re-invite me, even though she had invited me. It's pathetic shit. So that's why I want to apologize, because it is, and it's not who I am anymore, not who I want to be. And so I have a lot of stuff written. I want to tell her this in person, but it's basically saying, like, look, I'm not trying to put pressure on you as your ex. So here's everything I'm going to say in person, if you want me to still say it. If not, here's the email. And if you want to get together and just have coffee, I don't need to say it, because I already said it in the email, which is true. I mean, I'm not gonna be angry at her if she doesn't want to be. If she doesn't want to give it another chance, I'll completely understand. I had things I had to do, but I also feel like if I don't write this email, I'm not going to believe in love. And if I don't believe in love, or I don't believe in my ability to facilitate, or my ability to go after love like I want to, just in the same way I go after music or whatever, then like I don't know who I am. And I don't know who I am like if I'm not sincere. And if I don't do the things I want to do, like, it's just always going to itch in the back of my head. Like, why the fuck didn't you tell her you love her 6 years later? What if she wanted to hear that? Like, what if that was a thing she wanted to hear? So, that makes me... I'm glad I'm going to send this email. I mean, I know it's stupid, but I also don't want to be like, what's your address? Because what if she thinks I'm going to, like, come fucking say anything to her with a boombox? And maybe I don't feel the same way about her, but I still feel the same way about her. Maybe she's a different person. I mean, I'm certainly different, but I also feel like I saw one of my exes over the weekend, and we're friends, but it's like there's still strength and a connection there if you really cared about each other, and that doesn't really go away unless it was insincere or vapid. And love is beautiful, and that's like the best thing you could say after a fart like that. And Before Sunrise really kind of captures that. Love before we're afraid. The love before you know the pain of heartbreak. But what makes a hero is doing the same thing you've already done and knowing how much pain it's going to cause. When can you be brave? The only time you can be brave is when you're afraid. You know what? I can't remember what movie says that, but it's really true. So if you've been hurt by love and you can keep going after it and not be bittered, that's really cool. I mean, that's a really huge accomplishment, to keep your guard down with love. Be safe, be smart in a way, but wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Suburbia, a cool movie. I didn't connect with that one as much, but I did really like it. I liked it a lot, so that's what I gotta say about Suburbia. I mean, it's definitely worth the watch. It was kind of scary. It was more of a scary. I mean, I think that's the point too, to show kind of a scarier side of suburban living. And he did. I mean, it wasn't like overtly a horror movie or anything like that, but there was just... He showed the darkness underneath some of Suburbia. The Newton Boys. Probably my least favorite Richard Linklater movie, which isn't saying much. It's still a really good movie and I like it. But also, I mean, I don't like any movies about like John Dillinger and that kind of stuff. Like, it's just not... It's not really a place I think is very interesting, so it makes sense that The Newton Boys wouldn't be my favorite. But I think it's really good. All the actors are good. McConaughey, he's great. Waking Life. I didn't realize he made Waking Life so early in his filmography. I mean, I guess that's not early. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies, and that's not early, but it's that's a fantastic movie. That's a movie that you can watch just again and again and just get so much stuff out of it. About lucid dreaming, but it also dream is destiny is what the beginning of that movie says. The little kids are playing with those weird little things the little kids play with, the paper things. Oh man, I don't know what they're called. You ask questions and write numbers and then open the flaps. I'm fucking. This diarrhea really has made me so lethargic. Tape. It's made me very tired, but it's all good. Tape. Dude, Tape is fucking intense movie. It's great though. Uma Thurman, amazing. Ethan Hawke, amazing. The other guy was really good too. I can't think of his name. Life from Shiva's Dance Floor, I've never seen that. School of Rock, that's a classic. You know, that's a classic movie. And I guess the first Richard Linklater movie I saw when I was 18, I guess, because I was in the class of 04, 17, 18, but I really loved that movie. I still love that movie. I want to watch it again. Before Sunset. Whoa. Knocks it out of the park again. The ending of that movie is so good. The ending is so good. Bad News Bears, I've never seen. Fast Food Nation, I've never seen. Who am I to be making an episode about Richard Linklater? And so far I haven't seen 4 of his movies if you include the dance floor one. A Scanner Darkly. I love that movie. I love Keanu. I'm a huge Keanu fan. I think Keanu does great in Richard Linklater's you can get an internship at Detour Films, which is his film thing. I love A Scanner Darkly. I mean, Philip K. Dick story, and it's actually, I mean, I've read some Philip K. Dick, I think, but I have never read A Scanner Darkly, and so I don't know how that holds up or whatever, but it's a great movie, and it's very interesting, and it's cool, and it's all about drugs, and, and reality, and Woody Harrelson's amazing, Robert De Niro, and it's just, that's a fucking really good movie. Inning by Inning, A Portrait of a Coach, I haven't seen that. Me and Orson Welles, I really like that movie. There's a scene in the movie where Orson Welles is like going into his den and they talk about how he doesn't have a phone and like how you can't reach him. Like, I don't have my phone on me right now because I'm doing this podcast, and when I'm making music, I don't have my phone on me, and I just like keep those things separate, and a lot of that's like based on that because I want to like be like Orson Welles, but like early Orson Welles, and keep that kind of like hardworking and passion and that obsessiveness about achieving your vision, the obsessiveness of achieving your vision as an artist, because that's what's so amazing. And you know, he lived at a time where he had to be way more beholden to studios, and I think that, like, it's weird, it sounds weird, but dude, when people fuck with your art, man, it's like painful. Like the times I've had like people that I've worked with people and they've really done something that's really I thought prevented an expression from coming through, or prevented me from expressing myself. Like, it's really painful, so I can't even imagine to make something like Citizen Kane and then to never really have that kind of control again, even though you made the greatest thing ever. It's sort of like Paul McCartney making Ram. It's like he made the greatest album, one of the greatest albums ever, and and it got panned by critics, and I'm sure he was just like, what the fuck? And then he went and made Wildlife with fucking wings. I mean, it's just crazy to just think. I don't know. It's interesting to just think about that. But I love that in Me and Orson Welles, and that really converted me too to Zach. What's his name? Whatever. Zach. Me and Orson Welles. Who's that guy? Zach. It's not. I want to say. I know it's not. Zach Braff. Not even close to Zach Braff. It is. It's the Disney. It's the guy from Disney movies. Zac Efron. It really converted me to him, at least, because he did a really good job in that movie. He just did an excellent job. So I really like that movie. That Richard Linklater didn't write the script to that one. So it's a little different, but again, it's like that's what he does. He does different stuff. Bernie, really good too. Jack Black and him work great together. They've only made 2 movies, I guess, together. They should definitely do another one. School of Rock, Bernie, and they should do something where that's just totally different. I would love to see that. Before Midnight, I don't think I've ever watched a movie where I was more invested in the ending of that movie, or more just engaged and involved in it, and I loved it. And I mean, it's right there. It's fucking on my fucking wall. I mean, partially that's to do with the fact that I worked at a movie theater at the time, and that was one of the movie theaters they had. But I also have that and Her. That's the only 2 that I actually put on my wall. There's other movies. There was a lot of movies that came out. I worked there for like 7 years or something. I don't know if it was that long, but it felt like a long time. It was like 5 years. And those are 2 of the main movies I love, because I love Spike Jonze so much too. A ton. And the stuff he did with Charlie Kaufman, and then him writing Her himself. It's great. So where are we at? Everybody. Boyhood. Wow. There's nothing I'm going to say about Boyhood that hasn't already been said. It's amazing. It's so good. What beat out Boyhood? I don't know. But I'm sure I didn't agree with it, because I just really, really loved Boyhood more than just its ambition, but just like the end of the movie is so fucking good. And the whole movie's so good, and just he nailed it. And I just remember, like, in the movie there's a scene where him and like his girlfriend, or his girlfriend to be, or a girl he likes, the main character and this girl he likes, are talking, and he's talking about Kurt Vonnegut books, and I started like crying in the theater. This is just like, that's it, dude. That's what high school's about. It's like talking to girls about Kurt Vonnegut, and like he just nails life. He just fucking nails it. Like those quiet human moments that are like, I mean, that's what Slacker, all Slacker is. Dazed and Confused, I mean, they're all like that, where it's just like these quiet moments of humanity. Or Scanner Darkly, where like Woody Harrelson's got his bike and he's like trying to fix his bike, and it's like he just captures these moments in life that are, he's just so much more interested in story than plot, and I am too. Like that's what I love. It's about like the musicality of film, and not just about always just trying to like I mean, that's just not me, dude. I don't do cocaine. Everybody Wants Some. I'm not gonna lie. I think I tried watching that movie. It came out in 2016, so I did try to watch it last year. It was on, I think it was on Showtime or one of the streaming services, and I was just too overweight. I couldn't handle watching like this movie with all these in shape dudes. I was just not in shape enough. Now I could watch it and I'd be inspired to like, oh, I want to get in better shape because of these guys. But like watching just a movie about a bunch of jocks playing baseball, and I'm like feeling just so chubby in the midsection and stuff. I was just like, had to turn it off. So I'll have to rewatch that. I mean, that's funny too, man, that he played baseball and stuff, just because that's, I mean, he's very different. He's got a very interesting life, dude, working on an oil rig and all that kind of stuff. I think it's very fascinating, and he's obsessed with movies, and his knowledge of movies is just massive. and that translate to him making such great movies because he studies this art form, and you really, I mean, all the people you really see, like whether it's like Chuck Palahniuk or Ween or Flaming Lips or Richard Linklater, the people I've talked about so far, but also the Your Mom's House people, also Kanye West, the other episodes I'm going to make, and Grant Morrison, you see just, I mean, this is a life's work. These people spend so many hours and so much time cultivating their talents, and they're very talented, but talent is nothing if not cultivated, It's like a seed. You need to put it in soil and water it and take care of your plant, and the people that do it, I mean, are so inspiring, and that's why we get so bummed when we see bands drop off or filmmakers drop off, because we just wonder, like, what happened? And I think the only thing that happened is they stopped watering their seed. So that's my Richard Linklater episode, or the Chuck Palahniuk Ween Richard Linklater, about an hour and a half long. That's good. I hope it was good. So I'm kind of tired, but I don't want to get so behind on this, and I'll make sure that I'm really fucked up when I record the Kanye West episode next, because it'll be fun to talk about Kanye West, because I mean, I dress the way I dress because of Kanye West. He doesn't dress like this, but I never cared about clothes before Kanye West. I don't think I'd dress great. I would dress way different if I had more money, but I dress way better than I did. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Fuck, dude, it's really cool to be a fan. It's really cool that these people are out there making this badass stuff is happening all the time. It's like that thing that Chuck Palahniuk says in that letter. It's like there is just so much interesting stuff in this world to learn. So much interesting stuff to learn, and there's infinite art out there. I'm just learning new music, new movies. I mean, it's infinite. It really is. People are making more every day. It's very cool. All right. Thank you. Have a great night or day. Have a great whatever it is. Have a great one. Have a great